Hi, this is Chaz Cascus.
This is Paul Furio.
And this is Cascade Improv. And today we have our guest, Cynthia Lair, who is a improviser, a teacher, an actor of renown, and just someone who I continue to look up to, learn from, and just love to be on stage. Got the opportunity to study under Uta Hagen and has done improv all over the U.S. Cynthia, thanks for being on with us.
I'm so excited to be here and honored, really.
Well, I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just excited to have your wealth of experience and just, I mean, you've been such a mainstay as a teacher for so long with UP and just, you continually give. And so, it's so flattered that you've come here to give a little more.
Of course.
And hopefully this gives back as well.
Yeah.
Cynthia, how did you get your start into improv?
Backwards. I was an actor in New York.
Okay.
I went to acting school, college. Everything was acting. And
did you start acting in college or did you start in high
college?
school?
No, I started in I started in first grade.
In first grade. Okay, fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was never afraid to be on stage for no reason. It sounds very like I'm Miss Humble, but I'm not. But it was like I just didn't bother me. It wasn't like I wanted the attention.
Yeah.
Because people can pick up on that. Right? Yeah. Anyway, so I'm in New York, and I'm working. Luckily, very lucky. Where's all the wood?
Yeah.
And doing television commercials, and I'm studying theater acting with Uta Hagen.
Yeah.
And there was a group of us that formed from her class, and we actually eventually put on showcases to get agents. But one of the other things we did was there was a small group of us that met once a week for maybe a year, not more than that. And Jim Sherman, who was with Second City, he's now a great playwright. Anyway, Jim was in the class, and he said, "Hey, do you guys want to learn some improv games?" And we're like, "Sure." And I remember some of those experiences of doing those games in the gym. And then fast forward to... I was in some showcase produced by this little funny group, which we called Actors R Us. And I know, isn't that great?
That's good.
And an agent invited me to come out to L.A. And so I went out to L.A. I didn't know how long I was going to stay. I didn't think I'd stay that long because I had a pretty sweet deal going on in New York. But anyhow... While I was out there, I was living with my uncle and aunt, and they lived in Whittier, and you could not travel from the L.A. area where all the auditions were to Whittier. You had to wait until like 8 or 9 o'clock for the freeways to soften out.
Oh, yeah.
So I needed to kill time. And so I killed time by taking classes at the Groundlings and taking a whole course from Paul Sills.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, isn't that nuts?
Yeah. I didn't realize you'd learned from Paul as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't know who these people were.
Sure.
So I wasn't thinking anything except that, well, this is a fun way to pass time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I also, while I was in LA, went to see something called Instaplay.
Okay.
Okay, and Instaplay was a long form, which I had never seen or even heard of ever. And I went constantly to see that show. And I'm like, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
Adjacent to my other acting stuff, but I want to do this. And they were doing a musical. At the time, it just seemed absolutely, completely magical. But they did have a guy that was a narrator, which is always such a saving grace.
Yeah. Someone to keep the guardrails on.
Yeah. But I didn't know that was the guardrail at the time. I just thought, this is crazy. Who can do this? I want to.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So then I went back to New York. LA was not my thing at all. I mean, I was just doing commercials there. Sort of.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yep.
And what happened? Oh, I didn't pay any attention to improv for quite a while until we had moved to Seattle, and I was getting into my 50s, which isn't old, by the way.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And
Paul.
there aren't any parts for women anymore. There's a real donut hole in there. And so I thought, I'm going to go back to improv, and I did a summer intensive with Matt Smith.
Okay, yeah.
Who's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's
a great improviser.
And he's a spiritual man. He's just, and he's crazy, and I love him.
Yeah.
And so that was helpful. And I said, well, I want to do this with a group. And he introduced me to the people that work on Bainbridge.
Okay. The Edge, right?
Yeah. So I was working with them, and it was and I still do things with them occasionally.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize you were still working with them.
Well, like 3-4 times a year.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's out of a lot of loyalty, longtime friends.
Sure.
I think it's a fault of mine how loyal I can be sometimes. But and at some point they have a tendency, they like to do the same short form show over and over and over, and I was still like, where's my Insta play?
Yeah.
And it's just I don't like doing the same thing over and over.
The improviser's heart,
Yeah. And so I started taking classes elsewhere, and I met Randy one night, and he said we should go to lunch, as he always does.
Yep.
Male or female.
Yep.
And we had so many people that we knew. Like, he stayed in the apartment with the woman that I moved to New York City with.
Wow.
I mean, there was just like so many tangents, and he was so welcoming, and he just like kind of scooted me into the company.
Yeah.
When was that? What year was that you joined UP?
2015.
Okay.
But prior to that, I was working. No, I count that. Yeah. Because I started out, Tony asked me to be an IA. And that's where that started in summer of 2015.
Yeah. And have we talked about IA on the podcast yet?
I don't think we have.
Improv Anonymous?
No.
Okay, yeah. So Improv Anonymous. Well, yeah, Cynthia, do you want to talk about Improv Anonymous?
No, I'd love to hear your point of view. Because it was kind of, people were mad. Anyway.
There was a lot of opinions about IA. There was a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
So from my vantage, Improv Anonymous, which originally was called Fat Kid Magic.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was a small group within Unexpected of improvisers who just wanted to put a little bit more time and more reps into the work that they were doing. And they got a time slot on Thursdays. And there are a handful of improvisers that are on the company now because of Improv Anonymous. Ended up getting renamed, but it was about an hour of rehearsal before the show every Thursday. And it eventually became just sort of like a real fun playground for a handful of people to get some reps and some experience and to play new and different long forms under Randy's kind of more direct supervision, whereas the company was, certainly under Randy's supervision.
Yeah.
He wasn't giving notes every single time. And with that show, my understanding is he really had his hand on the pulse for
Absolutely.
For IA.
I mean, the way that he taught the Herald, no one else teaches it that way.
Correct. Yeah. And so, and it felt exclusive to the company because Randy really wanted to make sure that it was people who were committed to doing these weekly rehearsals. And it wasn't just another
drop-in thing.
Yeah, drop-in. I do theater sports once a quarter when I have the availability. or, I do happy hour whenever I'm able to.
Yeah.
He really wanted to make sure that if you were part of that group, you were part of that group. But other than that, it wasn't audition based generally. I think, if there's someone outside of the company, then there may have been like an audition or something like that. But,
interesting.
And so there were some feelings about that. And then there was also feelings about just how it took up every Thursday for time in memoriam, like it was just like, yep, Thursdays are gone. And so there were some kind of hurt feelings about that.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And there was some point, I'm not sure how honest this was, but I there was some point at which it was like, well, you can be in it, but you have to come every Thursday. Mm-hmm. And then people would go, well, I don't really feel like doing that. Mm-hmm. And then we'd go, well, then you can't complain that you're not in it.
Yeah.
But I was completely divorced from all that nattering at the time. Mm-hmm. Now I would probably know everything about what everybody thought, which is very boring.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a game changer for me, being in that group. Not that it was always perfect. It certainly was not.
Sure.
Sure. But just Randy's vision for what long form could be was expressed. Mm-hmm. Maybe not always done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, he I'm sure he told you this when you interviewed him, but he would say, once I see a really a perfect improv show, I'll quit.
That old bastard. I love that man.
I know. Yeah. So, and notes after those IA sessions were just unbearable. And they went on for hours with everybody just, no, intellectualize this, no, intellectualize that, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go back to your time with Uta Hagen. Did you seek learning from her? Did you seek her out? Or did you just happen to fall into a program and she was teaching it and you later were like, oh my God, this was an incredible experience?
Best question ever. Okay, I'm in New York. I don't know anything, but I'm surviving. And this friend of mine from college was, I think, living in the apartment that Randy stayed in up on 186th Street.
Crazy.
And he said, will you audition with me for this acting class? And I said, I guess so. And I had no idea who it was. But listen to this, all auditioners everywhere in the world. She only let you do scenes for auditions.
Oh.
You could not come in and do some shitty monologue.
Okay.
Because she says there's no connection. Ruined us all. Anyway, so I said, sure, okay. And he had this scene picked out, whatever. And I just thought, and this sounds so heroic, but it was not. I just thought, well, I'll just try to make Dave look good.
Sure.
And we got to the school, HB Studios, and they asked, do you want to be considered too? And I just went, I don't know, I guess so. Check the box. That's all I did. So that's all to tell you that I would have never gotten in if I wanted to get in. Or if I had some notion about, I'm going to, audition before the great Uta Hagen. Yeah. I had no idea, literally. So, and it took time. I studied with her for 5 years, but it took time not that long, to realize, oops, I'm here with a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just not only a genius about acting, but, oh my goodness, she was just so clear and so succinct and so gracious.
Yeah.
So if you did a scene, she'd go, how was that? And you'd, turn into some sort of monster and go, I don't know, I think I did this, but I don't know. And then she'd go, And she'd go, well, I didn't see that you had any physical life, so why don't you work on that and bring it back next week? The end.
Yeah.
Every time. So we got so many scenes done in class. Most acting classes, they have one scene and it goes on for 4 hours talking about it.
Yeah.
But you got one major note.
Yeah.
And that's really all an actor or an improviser can handle at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do that when I can. I'll say stuff like, don't use that many words.
Yeah.
Just do that. Or when you enter, have a little more energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. Because if I go on and on and on, it's going to start to put them in their head and make them nervous and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you teach the acting for improvisers class here in Seattle, both the intro level and the advanced. How long have you been doing that?
Longer than I think. I think about 5 or 6 years. Yeah. And I started out just like, there's no way you can merge these. Because I'm not bringing in scripts. I don't get scripts as an improviser. How can I, But I figured it out eventually. And now I feel good about where it's at. So.
Was it an existing class or is it one that you invented?
Randy told me I should do it.
Wow.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long did it take for you, or how many sessions of the class maybe did it take for you to feel like you had it finally?
A lot. And the first time, I think they gave me 2 classes to try to teach that.
Okay.
And then eventually I said, this isn't enough. Can I have 3? And then once I landed on 4, I'm like, okay, but let's do an advance that's another 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Improv habits are so hard to teach because it's just that. They're habits. And you can't just tell someone, all right, just yes things, and then they're fixed as an improviser.
They're not, and they're not fixed at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that really difficult. And I think you and I have talked a lot as teachers of improv, saying that, if you want to go deep, teach less.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I really try to channel Uta as much as is humanly possible, and stay positive. I don't go, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And none of that. And also,
You hear that, Chaz? That's the thing not to do.
I'm a real bastard.
yeah, he's really a bastard. And
I throw chairs. That's what I do.
Well, that's what Paul Sills does.
That's what I heard. Yeah. We'll get to
Only
Paul.
at the men, though.
He's a gentleman.
How kind.
But there weren't very many women in the class either.
Sure, I wonder why.
Yeah, well, there's lots of reasons for that, but one of them is what you're thinking. Yeah. So, and that simplicity, and I try to be really careful about that one note. And does it need to be done while you're on stage? Some people, you can kind of feel that.
Yeah.
And some people you talk to in private. And then it wasn't too long ago that I was doing a class and I laid down on the floor next to the person and gave them the note. And the note was, why don't you say yes to that and see what happens? Okay, go ahead. I know. Isn't that hilarious? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I will not forget the memory from that class that sticks out for me. There's many, but the one that sticks out for me most is the class where you have the X's on the floor.
Oh, that one,
and the lesson is, move with purpose from point to point. Don't meander. Don't rock. Don't get into what you call the 11s. And it changed. Just that class in and of itself changed my physicality like 100%. And not to always remember, like, I'm going somewhere with a purpose. There's a thing that I want to get to, and how much more realistic that looks than just like, oh, I'm taking a step and I'm stopping, or I'm halting, or I'm shuffling, and
Yes.
just eliminating all of those things that look not like
Human
real people
beings.
act. Yeah.
Yeah, good. I mean, if you can come out of any class that's with like one thing that like, oh, okay, boom, that shifted my whole thinking. I think that's as good as it gets.
That's as good as it gets. Yeah.
Huge win.
Yeah, big win. Yeah. Or Tristan will come up to me and say, I think the things he thinks I said I didn't say, but...
If they're good, take credit for it.
Yeah. But, I know. I said, slow down. No, slower. No, slower. And, yeah. And notice sometimes when he plays somebody that's slowed down, whoosh, believability goes way up.
Yeah, that's something that I recently have been like going back to and being like, oh, I need to slow down or sort of just like ground more. I feel like lately in my short form, I've been just getting more and more, I don't know, in my head, or less grounded, or less...
Well, it's not as celebrated immediately. And I wish that would change a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It isn't celebrated, especially by the audience. The audience wants to see big and bold. And I got a note from Shannon. It was a note that I believe she intended as a positive note, and I took relatively positively, but I also heard sort of the other side of it, when she went, Chaz, tonight really great. You had big bold characters, and I went, okay. So I'm outshining people, and not in a good way.
Well, you didn't outshine last week.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You know where that comes from, though, is that nobody's connecting with you in a strong way.
Yeah.
And that certainly unnerves me.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
But when it unnerves you, which means you start to feel some fear somewhere down deep, then you're going to be attracted to going into first circle, which is, I'm just going to retreat.
Yeah.
Or third circle, which is what you match their energy, which turns into all those shouting match scenes you see, you know? There's got to be a middle place.
Talk to us about first, second, third circle, because I don't think it's something that we've covered on the podcast yet.
Oh, fun. So one year, 20-something, I went down to L.A. with Tony, and we took an intensive down there for a week. It was, it's like you started at 9 in the morning and ended at 10 at night. So it was really an intensive.
Yeah.
And they taught us a lot, probably too much, but that's okay. And but one of the main things what they taught was second circle. And second circle was taught by Joe McGinley. And they said this is foundational for the company. If you don't buy into this, you don't get cast in this company.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm like, all right.
Yeah. And this was specifically an improv workshop, correct? Or improv intensive? Okay. Great.
Yeah. It was
because that's originally Patsy Rosenberg's.
Rodenberg. Yes.
Patsy Rodenberg's work.
I hope she's not listening, but I took an online class with Patsy, but I got more out of it from Joe McGinley. Because Patsy felt the need to talk about all the famous people she'd worked with.
Hey,
as you do when you get older.
Yeah.
She gets to do that.
She does get to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. But Joe taught it really well, really cleanly. I took notes on it, and it's about circles of energy is the way that it's presented by Patsy. And what happened was she was sitting in auditions frequently, and directors would say things like, "Oh, yeah, he's really got it," or "It's not there." And she was like, "What's it?" And can't you teach somebody it?
Yeah.
And for her, it meant being 100% present and in the moment, and your mind nowhere else. And she talked about teaching classes and actors and how sometimes they'd kind of get it, but when she went to a prison and taught there, everyone was in second circle or they'd die.
Okay.
Meaning they were aware of every single thing going on around them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every movement, every look, everything. And that, if you can practice that, it's quite amazing.
Yeah.
So I just, that's what I came away from that whole week with.
Yeah.
And how to be 100% present. And I devoted a solid 2 years to practicing that every time I went on stage. And I had a lot of opportunity with IA to practice it. Right?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And so I'm not saying I do it 100% of the time, but it certainly is my desire and goal to stay absolutely present. And I know when I'm not present and when I am present, and I think that's as important as being present, is your own awareness of where did your mind go just then. For a long time, I practiced being off stage and just watching. And then I'd get an idea. And I literally would take my hand, put it on my head, and wipe it out and throw it away. Because I did not want to go on stage with an idea. And I did that for years.
Yeah.
And nobody knew what I was doing, and that's okay. I just go like that.
Yeah.
And I have lots of ideas, of course, when you come home from a show and you go over what you could have, should have done, or you have a show tomorrow, and maybe this could happen, and maybe that could happen. And I always say, thank you very much. I won't be using any of those ideas. Because that's not what's happening.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
It's painful to throw them all away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's better. It's always better. Yeah.
Being in the moment rather than walking on stage with
An idea.
some idea. Why do you champion that?
Walking on stage with no idea.
Yeah.
Because then you're more dependent on your partner. And you're more dependent on your senses. What's going on here? What is happening here? That's not to say that you can't come on stage and like lay down. You can do that, but you don't know why you laid down.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think a good physical offer is fine. But if you come out with, I've got this idea for how she stole that painting and I retrieved it 10 years ago and now I'm going to, just like, I don't know what you're talking about. You've screwed your partner right there, just even committing to that idea that you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find myself in a similar I don't know, practice, I suppose, wanting to, and for me, what it is it's the desire for the audience to be aware of everything that's happening. I don't want decisions to be made off stage, because the scene isn't happening on stage, the show isn't happening on stage, and I think when we start allowing ourselves for the show to not be always in front of the audience, I think at that point in time, why aren't we just scripting it and rehearsing it?
Yes.
Because is backstage not its own little micro rehearsal if we're having all these ideas backstage? And I have been in shows, and I am in shows where people sort of lean over and go, oh, we should do this, this, and this. And there are times where I sort of go, okay, Sure. And I dismiss it. And then there's other times where I go, okay, whatever you initiate, I'll follow along with. And there are times where I'll turn and go, we're in a long form that's getting long in the tooth, and there's a lot of offers happening. And backstage, I just go, we need to resolve these things.
That's true. I mean, you can come in as first aid.
Yeah. I think sometimes I'll allow myself to do some of that planning as first aid, but I think in the same, cut from the same cloth, right? I don't want to make decisions off stage because that's not where the show is happening. The show should be with the audience.
On stage, yeah. And in the third circle, or the second circle work, she describes that when you're in second circle, the audience can't take their eyes off of you. If you're in first circle, they think that you don't really want to be there. And if you're in third circle, they're attracted to that burst of energy, and then they quickly lose interest.
Yeah.
So there.
That's so interesting. So the first time I learned about the circles was when I was doing stage combat training.
Cool.
And I thought it was something for sword fighting, for theatrical sword fighting.
Of course it is. It's for everything.
Yeah. And the idea of it was when you're in first circle, you're completely unaware of what's happening. You're so focused on what you're doing. And in third circle, you're overextending yourself and you're going to get struck. So you want to live in that second circle.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And that was the first time that I learned that. And it wasn't, I don't think it was until talking with you, that you had mentioned first, the different circles of energy, and it I remember it stirring that old memory in me, and then realizing maybe they had borrowed it from someone else.
Of course, we all borrowed everything.
Good artists borrow, but great artists steal, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't want to be a purist about it at all, because of course I'll have an idea, but I'm complete occasionally and not even have time to throw it away.
Yeah.
But while I'm having the idea, I'm missing what's going on stage.
Yeah.
And also, while I have the idea, something's changed, and so whatever I had in mind is probably not appropriate anymore unless I stuff it down everybody's throat.
Yeah.
So, but it's okay. So people go to watch improv. I went to watch Instaplay 100 times because there's this tiny second, where some character says something to you that you weren't expecting because you're in second circle.
Yeah.
You weren't planning, and you take it. And there's this millisecond where the audience is thinking, oh my God, what's she gonna say? She's at risk.
Yeah.
And then they either see you champion it, or they see you kind of flounder at it. And both they're happy about. Because if they see you champion that, then they're like, oh my gosh, look how she got out of that trap.
Yeah.
And if you flounder, you're like, man, I've been there before.
Yeah. I love that moment when an audience gets to watch us really, really fail and really struggle, and to where we demonstrate resilience in that, because for so many people it's terrifying.
Yes.
And that's why we have a level 100 improv class.
Yes.
Because if people weren't terrified of improv and this idea of looking silly in front of others, then we wouldn't need Improv 100. We would just need specialty classes at that point in time of how do you do theater in improv, and how do you do games in improv, and what's long form in improv, it would just be that. But truly we need to indoctrinate people that it's okay to make dick jokes on stage and look a little silly and and be absurd and make mistakes. But But I think that resiliency is so important. I think that's why people keep coming back to improv.
Yeah, I know you've been on stage. I have, where somebody came out with a fully developed idea,
Yeah.
right? And they're just practically monologuing it at you.
Yes.
And it's like, it's the worst feeling in the world. I have to say, just especially as a woman, because you're like, all right, I'll just do what I'm told, which is not, I mean, I don't think the audience thinks that's funny at all. Or maybe it's just me. But no to that. But also no to the person that comes out and just shuffles around and says, hey, what's going on? You know, you want to slap them too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Where do you draw the line between an improviser coming on stage with an idea, a fully formed idea, and they come out and they bring out this big concept, versus where's that line between then someone who comes out with nothing, right, and thinks they're being gracious by wanting to be a blank slate for their scene partner? Where is that line for you?
Yeah, so I think it's in the 3 steps it takes you to get from backstage to on stage.
Talk about those 3 steps.
Well, you're watching.
Okay.
And you're listening, and you're watching, and you're listening, and you're watching, and you're listening. And in a certain way, I guess you could say you're trying to feel what's needed. And most of the time, you're not needed.
Yeah.
So you have to. That has to just like, I'm not needed. So why would I go out there and clutter up this stage, right? But as you take those steps, it's just like teaching people how to do freeze tag. Don't plan. Don't go, oh, when I go in, we're going to be at a barbecue. You know, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Walk into it and do something physical to connect to your partner, even if that means I'm going to stand 10 feet away from you with my hands on my hips. That's a huge offer.
Yeah.
And then see what happens next. You know, but it's those 3 steps are where you're asking for inspiration.
Yeah.
Or waiting or open to inspiration. And if you are open to inspiration, man, it comes every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that so much, and looking at it as like the first of the 3 steps is you're listening to the scene, you're listening to the moment, you're just being present and you're being here. And then I love how that next step is engaging your body, as being an embodied actor and an embodied improviser.
Yes.
And Paul, I'm sure you've heard me say it, which is that thought is the death of your improv.
Yeah.
Creativity is the death of your improv. And everyone thinks that your improv starts with your thoughts. And I just don't think so.
I think you just get into a quagmire.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And Uta will say that too. If you haven't inhabited your body as you walk out onto the stage, then we don't know. We're like, what was he doing here?
Yeah.
I love that notion of leading with physicality. Just the other day, I did a 5-minute Herald with my friend Jen, and it's essentially, rapid scenes. But the thing I was thinking of was between all of these things was like, just do a different physicality. Like, I'm gruff or I'm big or I'm tiny or whatever it is. And like, that will inform what this next thing is. And I think student and early improvisers like spend so much time thinking about what they're going to say.
Yeah.
And not who they embody. And as you're saying, just the connection with the other person. And there's so much there that goes beyond the pitfall of, well, I'm going to say something and it's going to be clever, which is the antithesis of good improv.
Yeah, it's not very interesting. No. Yeah. So, yeah. Yay!
When we were in that workshop yesterday, and I gave the note to one of the attendees saying, we were doing a character workshop, and it was building characters. And a note that I continually give whenever I'm doing character work is environment work. Mm-hmm. And it, I almost wonder if it's some sort of like Johnstone, like, the little Johnstone teaching of, if I want you to do something, I'm going to trick you with something else.
Yes. It's like Pilates.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to know that now. Yeah. But go on.
And, it was, playing with a deck of cards,
Right,
or it was
fixing that chair.
Yeah, fixing that chair,
Which was brilliant and so fun to watch.
And it's just like your character will show up if you invest in the character's body.
Yes.
Right? Your mind will follow.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a little clip of Uta teaching where she just kind of rails in, like, if you're off stage, you're not thinking about what emotion am I going to have. Mm-hmm. You're like, where did I come from? Where am I going? And go.
Yeah. Walking on stage with a purpose is a goddamn miracle of a choice that so many people don't do.
No, I don't use it enough. That's something I need to work on. Yeah.
I was watching a show the other day, and someone walked on stage and they like looked around, and then they looked at their scene partner, and I was just like, "What are you doing?" Like, did you walk on stage to have a scene? Yeah. I'm gonna start just walking into an office space, or walking into like a restaurant and just looking like I'm about to start a scene. Oh, no.
It's and just think about your own life and your own self. And anytime you enter a room, it's for a purpose. I came down these stairs to sit in this chair. Yeah, I knew I was going to sit in this chair, and now I'm going to talk. Mm-hmm. And we don't just pace. We don't. Even if we are pacing, we have someplace we're going, and someplace we're going, and someplace we're going, and someplace we're going.
Yeah. Talk to me about the difference between walking on stage with a purpose versus walking on stage with an idea.
Oh, that's a good thing.
I've got a few of them.
I think I'm not. I don't have. Uta's died, so I can't ask her. But I think she means. Okay. Let's say she's talking about plays, so she's talking about scripted work. So it's a little bit different in that you're coming on stage. It's usually written in the thing why you're coming on stage. But even if all you're doing is coming on stage to take your coat off and hang it up, that's fine. Yeah. Or you come on with some mail and you're sorting through it as you come on. You're going to put it on the table. Yeah. This is how humans work. That we're like, well, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'll do this. And most of it's kind of rote. You're not actually employing the thought to do it. You're just body just. And if actors would just understand that, or improvisers, that there's ways to move around the stage where you have a purpose, the least of which should be to stand 3 feet away from you and talk.
Right. Mm.
Yeah.
What was the quote like? Far enough to avoid a punch, but not too close that you're going to get hugged.
Not too close to get kissed. Maybe. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were some of the what are some things that you still hold on to that you feel are just like so present when you walk on stage as an improviser that you learned from Uta?
Oh, that I'm going to feel something about something. I don't know what it is, but something you say is going to make me feel something. Always. I don't know what the feeling's going to be, and I don't know what it is you're going to say, but that has to do with theater being, the theater is where those scenes happen. Life is where we avoid those scenes. So, and it could be something as simple as, could you get me some water? And why are you always telling me what to do? This is all, I just, whatever it is that happens. Or Yeah, okay, I'll get some water.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's that marriage like? Yeah. So, but you have to be really open to whatever happens.
Yeah. Is that a background process that you have in your mind? And what I mean is by background process, I also talk about improvisers having like blank spaces, but it's like a fill in the blank. And I talk about that in the idea of like the core of your scene or crow, right? We have those as blank spaces, and that's what we're listening for. We're not coming in to make those. We're coming in to listen for those. So I'm listening for what my character is. I'm listening for what our relationship is. Is that something that you are like specifically listening for? Because I know you put the silent E at the end of crow, right? Up for emotion. Is that something that you are like a background process? You're thinking like, where's the emotional change? Where's the emotional change?
I don't really give a crap about crow anymore so much.
Sure.
Just because I have so many students that get so caught up on that in their head. And so in class, I'll usually say, just worry about one of the letters, not all three, 4 or 5. What did you said something beautiful, and now I'm talking, and I don't like that because I forgot what you said that was beautiful. It was about...
Is the E, is the emotion a background process that you have? Is that a blank spot that you're filling in?
No. I'm just waiting to hear what you have to say, and I'm going to respond to it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to respond to it in my own time, maybe right away.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm going to go plant a tree before I respond to you.
Yeah.
Because my character at that point needs to think about it. But, that's... I want to go back to theater sports, and I think yes, the audience expects big clowny stuff and to be laughing really hard.
Sure.
But I do believe that if they see real people up there having a real relationship, that they laugh harder.
Yes. I'll challenge that a little bit, and hear me when I say I'm not truly challenging it, but I think there is this idea that a lot of people mistake about short form and theater sports, or whether it's comedy sports, right? Which is this idea that you are either doing comedy or you're doing long form drama.
Yeah.
And that there's no in between. And I think the heart of John Stone's work is
in between.
It's in between those two of those things.
Yeah, I agree.
And that we, our audience shows up, half our audience shows up thinking they're watching stand up. I mean, at this point in time, maybe a quarter of them. I think improv has become sort of a household name enough that people know the difference between stand-up and an improv show. But still, there are some people who show up just like, yeah, I'm waiting for, this is going to be a comedy show. And I think if in the first scenes we're doing Tennessee Williams and Ibsen, our audience is going to be like, I was robbed.
I'm in the wrong place. I should go home now.
Yeah. And so I think there is...
I totally agree with you.
We need to earn their trust by saying, no, we're going to have fun. We're going to have a good time. We can play these games well. We can do improv well.
Yes.
And don't worry, you will have a lovely, fun time of laughter, but that doesn't mean we're going to shortchange you by only giving you comedy.
Yes. I don't think we disagree at all about anything, Chess. So.
Right, Cynthia, I don't think we disagree about anything either.
But, Randy talks about that too.
Yeah. We talked about this Randy last week.
You have to give them you have to earn the trust to do a scene that is a notch deeper.
Yeah.
But, it's not always happening.
No, it's not always happening. No, it's not.
It's not always happening. So, yeah. And I think that's...
I was judging the theater sports, and this was way back in the day before we had before we had the scoreboard, the digital scoreboard, when we still were doing public math with little enamel placards.
Yeah.
And
was it like the flip overs or something?
no, it wasn't even that. It was nails.
Yeah,
and someone had drilled holes into the top of it. And I think most of them, they were printed on. They were like vinyl prints of the numbers on a white little placard.
Yeah.
And we had just enough numbers to be able to get up to probably somewhere in the 80s, you know, but it would be two different little nails, and you would have to, once you gave the 3, 4, and a 3, you then quickly do that and be like, okay, so 3, 4, and a 3, okay, that's 10, okay, and we're at 24, so that's, okay, that's easy, that's just 34, and then your audience, boos or whatever, or if you get the math wrong, then the whole audience comes in, no, that's not what it is, that's not what it is. And there was some scene that was just it was real trash, and so we horned it down, threw a 0, and the audience all boos, and then later that show, we had this beautiful, just kind of slow burn scene, and it was like, it was art, it was gorgeous, and some audience who's like right by my feet as a judge looks up at me and just brings up his hand and gives me the squeeze the horn motion.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And he had this sort of conspiratorial look like, come on, we both know.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it was, I kind of like, I don't know, rolled my eyes at him a little and went back to the scene. And it was like a gorgeous scene. But I was probably 10 years ago, and it still haunts me.
I agree with you. I think we have not found the middle ground that Johnstone thinks we ought to have.
Yeah.
And I think, or else we just stumble upon it occasionally.
Yeah, I think we stumble upon it a lot.
I think every show, even if it's, okay, we're going to do improvised Chekhov, needs to be entertaining.
Yes. Yeah.
And entertaining can take, we could have a little bit broader of a definition of entertaining, I think. It's not just always people laughing, but yes, it must be entertaining.
Yeah.
If it's not, what are we doing up there?
If you could like nail your Martin Luther 99 truths on the front door of UP, what is entertainment? What does that mean to you if it's not just comedy, which I think a lot of improvisers suspect?
Well, I think that they're missing a step there, and that comedy is when we recognize ourselves on stage and laugh about it. And that can be done in so many different ways. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, theater is supposed to be a mirror art.
Yeah.
That's its intention.
Yeah.
And that we're showing them something that they can recognize either as themselves or their mother or whoever it is.
Yeah.
And then they can make light of it for a moment. Yeah.
You also got the opportunity to learn from Paul Sills. How long were you taking a class from him? Was it like a 10-week workshop?
Like an 8-week thing. Yeah, great. Not that long. Yeah. And I remember how angry he was.
Oh no.
I think So that wasn't. I learned a little bit more in Groundlings, but the Groundlings were at that time were teaching. If you don't have any ideas, just seduce the person. Which I took to heart for a while, but then I realized, well, that's limited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe Bills, I remember him talking about this idea of no one walks on stage, or he goes, if you're going to walk on stage, you walk on stage either curious of your scene partner or suspicious of your scene partner.
Yeah, that's fine. But it's something.
It's something. And then I think Susan Messing then said, she goes, no one goes on stage, or everyone goes on stage because they want to fuck the other person.
well, that's one way of kind of slam banging connection.
I think that's the heart of what both of them are trying to get at.
Yeah.
Is just have a reason to connect with your scene partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's more reasons than just fucking them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Not many more.
Well,
yeah, but
I don't know. As I've gotten older, I have to come up with a lot more of them because people get scared. Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I have been known to walk on stage and somebody's laying down and just lay down on top of them.
Yes, I have seen that.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
And not knowing why I'm there. But pretty sure I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out soon. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be something. Yeah.
But yeah, some things that you learned from Paul, and then I'd love to know some things that you learned just your time with the Groundlings as well.
I didn't learn that much there, except to get on stage and play a bunch of games. I did learn that.
A lot of games.
Yeah.
Which I honestly, I think, learning a lot of short form games is also a great
it was great.
A great takeaway as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got asked to go to the next level. Mm-hmm. And
right.
like it was,
for those of you at home, Cynthia is making doling out money motions with her hands.
No one's worried about taking your money. But I decided to go back to New York. I didn't want to be there anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
that was grad school for me. Like, we have this art program at this engineering college. Like, you'd be great for the master's program. I'm like, how much does it cost? Okay, that's why you want me.
Exactly.
Great. We'll talk later.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's all good. And I'm of the Randy Dixon school of it's unattainable. In a way, I love that. I'm like, I don't mind that. I don't mind chasing unicorns. This is great.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, though, is if you do just miraculously happen upon everything clicking.
Yeah.
Then you'll chase it the rest of your life. Because it feels so otherworldly and so. I use this word carefully, but so spiritual in a way, because you've kind of left your body, they've left their body, and you're just like figuring out this wonderful story to tell.
Yeah.
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 How fun this idea of the spiritual experience of being inhabited by the muse.
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't happen very often, so you get really excited when it does. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's something, and I think that's by and large what Randy was really asking improvisers to do, was to surrender to inspiration and to the muse, and to not feel like you've got it figured out.
Yeah.
Because once you figured it out, you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
He told me the story of there was an old teacher who came up to him and said, "Randy, I think I figured out improv." And Randy was at his desk and kind of like, wheels away from his keyboard and goes, "Yeah?" And he goes, "Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to learn." And Randy goes, "Yeah, you're right."
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's absolutely perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's good. Mm-hmm. And I like talking about it. I spent 20 years of my life as a professor.
Yeah.
And I was teaching people how to cook and how to understand what food does and all of that. And I felt pretty good about it because it was like, well, if you teach people how to eat well and how to understand how to actually nourish themselves, then they have, the facility to chase their dreams. Okay, so that was good. But I feel even better about teaching improv. Because look at all the things we have talked about. And wow, if you could master a fraction of any of those, your life's going to improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what are things that because you were a professor of nutrition, right?
I was director of the Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Culinary Arts program.
Okay.
Well, all right.
A mouthful.
Where was that?
Bastyr University.
Yeah. Okay, over on the east side. Yeah.
Are there any things that you bring from your work there on stage?
Yes, I didn't know it at the time, but when I did that TED Talk about how to cut an onion, that TED Talk was really about how to stay present. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know it at the time. I hadn't gone to take a second circle workshop or anything. But I just knew that the food tasted better if the student was fully engaged and present while stirring polenta.
Fun.
Yeah, and you could look across the room. There were 6 stations, and here's somebody stirring the polenta, right? And you could see, like, they, like, start to just, like, bliss out. And you're like, that one's going to taste so good.
Yeah.
And then you see this other one where they're like, is it time yet? And you're like, no. And you knew theirs was going to come out kind of lumpy. So. And it never failed. Never. And there was usually only one person in the room that just like created this aura around themselves with this pot of polenta. And she was in second circle.
Yeah. You had you said that you saw the Instaplay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have that was a dream of yours? Do you feel like you achieved?
Yeah, but it took so long. It took all the way till I got to UP, which was a long time. Yeah. I was in conversation with the guy that ran it.
Oh, cool.
And I'm like, would you come to New York and teach a group of us here how to do this? And he said, sure. And I was making big bucks doing commercials, so I could afford to like pay him to do some of this. And the third conversation we had, he said, well, my wife and I got this gig and we're going to do this. And they were the writers of Cheers.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. It's probably good he did that gig.
Probably good.
If I know improv money like I know improv money, it's probably good he wrote Cheers.
You think they made more than $20 a show?
Yeah. I think they did. Yeah, I think they did. I think they were the writers the whole 9 seasons or whatever it was. So,
wow. That's amazing.
That happens.
That's an opportunity you get to retire on.
Yeah. So I didn't know how to create it myself at the time at all. So, because I didn't know how the sausage was made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something so magical about those first improv shows that you see.
I know.
And everyone has those stories. I mean, I remember watching my first improv shows and just stars in my eyes, and still I get to perform with those improvisers. And even though now, I get to see them, phone it in sometimes, and, I still look up to them, and I'm just like, those are my heroes, and they'll always be my heroes. And then getting to see, Randy, when Rich Hawkins came back and Joe Guppy came back and got back on the company, and just for him to be like a kid again and being like, oh my God, Rich Hawkins is back. And he's just like, he was like, I grew up watching them in theater sports when I was young. And he was like, it's so good to have them back on stage, and just like, we all have those moments. And and I remember hearing, going back to Tristan, he was telling me about like, some of his first theater sports shows. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember being in those. They were fine. And it's just, it goes to show that like, once we do learn how the sausage is made, some of that magic does kind of fall away, and we have to try so much harder to find that. But for those people in the audience, they could still just be wowed by our trying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the last show that we were in last weekend, there was that moment where I looked at you and I went, "Are we doing the finger puppets?" And you said, "Yeah." And I don't know if you've talked to Tech before, but they were on it. They got the psychic message.
Yeah.
For sure. And Leona, she's going to join in no matter what.
Yeah.
And so then we got the suggestion of a gun, and you're like, how's this going to work?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to show you.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like Chaz took over and made, no, we each contributed little pieces until it all became this story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was so satisfying to me. Yeah, even though it's just a little thing, just one thing. And Tech with the music, it was just, wild.
It's really fun to watch.
Just all came together for a moment there. Yeah. Not that there weren't other moments in that show, but that's the one. And mostly it was me looking at you and going, are we doing this? And we're on stage. It's not like we're going to think about this for a while.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just happened.
Yeah. That's my favorite. I love to be surprised. There was a Four Hearts once where I was off stage and, you went and talked to the audience and they gave you your mantra or whatever.
Yeah.
And I learned the hard way that some directors sometimes tell you all this stuff that you're supposed to come on stage with. And don't tell anyone, but I ignore most of it.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I have to see
this
what's...
conversation's between you, me, and Paul.
Yeah, okay, great. So, but I'm pretty open about that to my directors. I'm like, I'll figure it out when I get there, okay? Anyway, I was... so your mind is full of this thing you got from this audience member, which I don't particularly care for because it kind of gets me thinking of ideas, right? And so Liz and somebody were on stage, and they were talking about my character, and they said, "Oh, remember when she was in that bar fight? She broke a bottle and went after that guy?" And I went, "I'm dropping everything. That's my character." Yeah. They just said that's who I am.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. And I don't even remember what the rest of it, what I got was.
Yeah.
Didn't matter anymore, right?
Yeah.
Chaz was just talking about Tristan, and one of the shows I'll never forget was Kiss of a Killer, where you and Tristan were in that show, and you were the femme fatale.
Yeah.
Which I think for a moment I saw like a moment of surprise and delight on your face, and you're like, "Oh, it's me! Wonderful."
Yeah.
But you've also been the narrator in the Rocky Horror Improv Show.
That's a hard one.
It is a difficult one. But as you said before, like the narrator like ties it all together and gives the other players an out. I'm just kind of curious, like what long forms in particular are you drawn to, or do you have a selection criteria? Is it I like working with these people, I like working with this director, it's this genre is fun for me? Like how do you pick like, oh, these are the long forms I wanna play?
Yeah. Well, I like anything where I have to kind of study something because I'm a student.
Yeah.
But then you have to forget it all in a way. But I really enjoyed Austin. That was fun doing that. It had its own limitations because the audience didn't really believe we were improvising.
That was wild.
Which is a different feeling between us and the audience then. But it was still fun to tackle that.
Yeah.
Kiss of the Killer's just fun.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone was really fun for me because I grew up watching it.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I haven't seen one yet, so I'd love to see it. The same, I grew up watching that and The Outer Limits.
Yeah.
And Amazing Stories back in the 80s. Yeah.
I love the soap opera that Jacqueline puts on. That's so fun. And it's silly.
Yeah.
It's entertainment. And yet if you said, what do you want to do? Well, that sounds really fun to me.
Right.
And that had so many twists and turns. You had to listen more carefully than any show I've ever been in before, because you couldn't drop any of the threads.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Because that one was week to week. Like you kept the same characters and the same story week to week. So for like 6 to 8 weeks, you were in it.
Yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, but I do like short form too. It's just that I think I'm looking for a little more meat on the bone on our short form sometimes. But like that, there was that duos where, and this is the thing. You know, you can go, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to work on? And whatever. Well, I don't know if you remember this, but early on, somebody had asked, maybe it was Shannon, had asked the question, what's some games that you haven't seen in a long time?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, Obadiah and I headlined that show.
Yeah.
And we played, I think we tried to play every game that people had said.
Right. And Liz was sitting next to me, and she said, space horror.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I remember that show. I was in that show.
As if it was a game.
Right.
Right? And so that's hilarious in and of itself. Well, so whoever went on before Thomas and I said, they did a horror thing.
That was that was Faith?
I think it was.
Yeah, maybe so. The one you were in. It was a horror thing. So we're like, well, we can't do horror really.
Right.
So I go out and I say, yeah, we were going to do space horror. And Thomas didn't miss a beat, and he said, yeah, it's one of our favorite games. And I just doubled over laughing. And then, so we're just going to do Space Station.
Yeah.
Now, did I think of that before I walked on that stage? No.
Yeah.
I didn't think of anything. And it was it had to be like one of the funnest duo scenes I've ever done.
It was so funny. It was so fun to watch.
I didn't, what did I do? Just responded to him.
Yeah. You just over and over you said, could you open the airlock?
Could you open it? I know.
Open the hatch.
Yeah.
Could you open the hatch?
But I mean,
And he's having this existential crisis on stage. You're like, please, can you
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
But if you dissect that down, you're looking at two people that have an objective, a very, very clear objective. I want in the fucking space station.
Yeah.
And he wants to discover who he really is in relationship to the sun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really strange objectives. But those objectives, if you just skip that part of everything about acting and improv, it's not so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to want something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been, I feel like that's being harped on. That is this season in like the improv around me is just this harping on objective. Why are you on stage? What is it that you want? What is this scene about? What's the question of the scene? All these just like very story-centric questions. And I think we're getting so lost in character and having a bold character and trying to find relationship, but we don't know what the relationship is bringing us to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that old Mark Sutton quote of no audience in the history of improv has ever turned to another audience member and said, boy, I sure hope they change that tire.
Right.
We're not even getting to that point right now of knowing that we're changing a tire. We just get to the end of a story and people go, what was your objective? And go, oh, well, obviously it was this. And I go, no. At the top of the scene, what the hell was your objective? And
it can be that you need to change the tire.
It can be anything, but you have to decide it and you have to know what it is. You have to know what it is, and then because
it's okay to discover it.
Yes, it's okay to discover it. Yeah, we don't come on stage, here's
fully
my objective.
Loaded. Yeah.
I mean, there have been times also where I'm like, wow, this scene's going nowhere. All right, I'm gonna come in with my syringe and.
But that's one of the biggest gifts to your scene partner is just to finally fucking say like, I want.
Yeah.
When things are going off the rails, just saying I want.
Yeah.
I want you to pay attention to me. I want to get to this park.
Well, and the thing is that like your objective will happen, and I see it time and time and time again. I've been doing this for 20 years, and you will see objective within the first 4 to 7 lines of dialogue. It will just happen. And if you're 10 lines in going, we need to make an objective. No. You missed the objective.
Yeah, you missed it.
Right? And I think the gift, Paul, is not coming in and saying, I want, but it's saying, didn't you say you want? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? And it's labeling the thing that was already there that might have been hidden under something.
Yeah. And it can come in layers too. So I can come on stage with the objective that I need to change this tire because we're on a trip. Mm-hmm. That can be fine. And then when the guy comes over and tries to take the tools from me, it can shift to, I need you to stop telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Or, thank goodness my hero arrived. Mm-hmm. I think I'm too old for that, but yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, it can be like...
and it should shift deeper and deeper and deeper.
It should mature. And that's one of the things that I discovered when I was teaching narrative work is that in the middle of your scene, the beginning of your scene is establishing the who, what, where, the crow, the core of your scene. It's establishing all those things and getting and having those things set in motion. And then the end of your scene is just resolving all that. But what the hell do you do in the middle of your scene? And it's you explore relationship.
Yeah.
And one of the things I talk about is your relationship to your objective. And it's that idea of deepening your objective, right? I need to change the tire. No. I need to change the tire. Oh, I need to change the tire because I don't think I can, right? And so we continue to, it matures. But at the end of the day, we're still just changing the tire.
Yeah.
Right? Or you definitively don't change the tire, and that gets to be its own successor or failure.
I leave you and hitchhike my way home. Mm. That could happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many possibilities if you keep it simple to start with. I mean, you don't usually burst onto the scene and go, I want a divorce. We want to see why, right? Yeah, that comes later, and it's a surprise to you as well.
Yeah.
A surprise that you're saying it now. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's a complete surprise. Either one of those is okay. Yeah. Then it's fun. The other stuff is work.
Yeah.
There are shows, to answer your question 10 minutes ago, that I'm like, okay, I'm going to work tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. I don't mind working. There's things I can work on while I'm working. And then there's shows that I'm like, this will be fun.
Yeah.
That's normal.
What's the difference for you between I'm going to work and I'm getting on stage and I'm going to be professional? Because I think there are people who get on stage and they think like, this is playtime, this is for me. Mm-hmm. And ignore the fact like there's an audience who, as Chaz said, like they paid good money to be here.
If I could turn off my absolute commitment to being professional, that would be so great.
And if other people could find it, it would be wonderful. Yes. Yeah.
But no, I know what my job is.
Yeah.
I know what my job is. I mean, I've been doing it my whole life.
Right.
We're talking about decades of doing my job.
Yeah. So there's work and there's fun, but there's always professional.
Yeah. And there's work and there's fun, and I wish there was more in between, but we're talking about it, and that's a step anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about theater that trains you is when you've got a supporting role, you've got a supporting role.
Right.
You don't get to do any more than be a support person.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a passenger role. It's a supporting role.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do get into that in the advanced acting when we're class where we're doing, I call them mini one acts, but they're like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And, whoever's the lead will emerge right away, the protagonist.
Yeah.
And if you're not the protagonist, please don't try to be the protagonist.
Yeah.
Support what they're saying. Here's 10 ways you can support them. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the theater is very, you're either at the top of the marquee or you're not. Yeah. So you have to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking about, Chaz, being in Austin with you and how surprised I was that you were like, well, why don't you just come along with us? Do you remember? You were like a visiting traveling show or something.
In
Austin.
Yeah. In talk more about Austin Unbound and that show.
Who do you remember that?
I don't.
You asked me to marry you, so.
Oh, that show. Yeah. I remember that show.
You were like a traveling circus or a traveling show, or traveling something.
We were traveling. Yeah, we were.
And you were with your sister, so I wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were just summering.
Yeah.
There.
Okay.
Yeah. Was it Liz and I?
I don't
Liz
know.
Bramer?
Maybe it was not, but
Yeah.
This was a show you did in Austin?
no.
Or there's a show called Austin Unbound that was here at
Austin
UP?
Unbound, yeah.
Okay.
No.
It was at Book It.
Book it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when you said, and I was kind of a trapped older sister that had no life.
Yeah. Yeah. You had an.
Everybody else was married.
Yeah. Everyone else is married, and you had a suitor who was sort of the one who got away,
Randy.
and I believe that was Randy. Yeah.
And he was awful.
And he
was an awful person.
ended up being awful. That's right. And so was the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, his character was awful.
Yeah, his character was awful, and I don't know what he was thinking. He was trying to have some redemption arc or something like that, but he was this awful character, and the two of you were sort of you'd rekindled, and you were going to have this, you found your old love, but then I think I came in and I was just they're falling in love too quick. And we're about to end this show, so I was like, well, I'll just make some bold brash, I'll just be an obstacle. I'll try and win her, and then he'll have to fight. And then you were like, nah, I'm going with this guy.
Well, do you remember what happened, though? And this is a little improv miracle. So there was a space between you sort of saying, why don't you just come with me? Mm-hmm. And then there's Randy, well, I came all this way to be... And I had a monologue, I think, where I was talking about, I don't know what to do. And I said Randy's name, mm-hmm. and the audience went, And then I immediately knew as a performer, oh, well, of course I'm going to leave with Chaz.
Yeah.
I have to fulfill the audience has spoken.
Yeah.
Right. So I have to do that. But how often do you get that? How extraordinary. That was so fabulous. Okay, you decided for me. This is so great.
Randy was so salty at me after that show too, because I don't think he had any show where he was the romantic interest.
No, there was one where there was a final dress where we were.
There was
romantic.
a final dress. Yep.
And then there was that one, and I'm going to tell you something about this one. This was amazing. So I'm the sister that's not married again, whatever, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
Jane Austen, right? Yeah.
And that's fine.
It would be really tough to have a lead female character who is married, who starts out married.
That's true.
Jane Austen.
Yeah, that's true. And so I was supposed to go with him to Randy's character, who he was a retiring Army captain or some, some big thing, colonel, I don't know. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what would I possibly say to him? I don't have anything I could say. I don't do anything. And the sisters were going, no, you do. What do you like to do? And I said, well, I don't know, take walks. And they go, yeah, you could talk about that. What else do you like to do? I said, read books. And they're, yeah. Mm-hmm. And what else? And I'm just like, I don't know. He's going to think I'm so weird. pick flowers. Okay.
Yeah.
And they go, well, just do that. And we practice some more things. That scene's over.
Yeah.
The next scene is Randy walking behind that in that funny back walkway.
That funny little back walkway. Yeah,
with like somebody else. I'm not hitting the name right now.
Kyle or Nathan?
It was Kyle.
Okay.
And Kyle was saying, well, what do you plan to do after you retire? Mm-hmm. He said, well, I like to take walks. Mm. And, of course, I like to read. And I know, sometimes I like to pick flowers. All he did was repeat what I had said.
Yeah.
And it was so simple. Mm-hmm. And right there, the audience is like, they want us to be together. Yeah. So simple, though.
Yeah.
We forget to be simple on stage. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Now at the end of this 15 minutes, I've put together that it was Austin Unbound because it was Jane Austen. Yes. Not that this was a trip that you took to some improv workshop down in Austin, Texas.
I think that Chaz and I are going to do that someday.
Yes.
Go to Austin, Texas, and do Austin Unbound.
Yeah. We'll also do Austin Unbound. Yeah,
all of it.
We'll have to talk with Dave. We'll get his permission.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
For our listeners, that's what that was all about.
Yeah.
News to me.
Yeah, so
improvisers are just horrible to live with because we tell these long stories about these things
without any context.
With no context. Yeah.
Austin Unbound was a show that Book It Repertory put on in 2022. It was winter of 2022, and it was their one and only improv show that they ever did.
Yes.
And they brought in Dave Morris from Victoria, from Paper Street Theater, who, Dave, if you're listening to this, we still want you on the podcast. And I'll continue to message you on every app that I can. But
I think it warrants a trip up to Victoria.
I think we need. Oh, Paul, I like that. Okay, yeah.
We'll bring our respective ladies and
that's right.
Make a trip out of it.
Yeah. So Dave, we're coming to you.
Yeah.
But he came on down, and it was about a month of rehearsals. Pretty intense rehearsals too. It was rehearsals that a scripted theater would expect.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I remember we had a week of invited dress rehearsals where we had test audiences, and I remember us halfway through the week being like, how is this different than a show? We're making it up every time.
I know.
We're just doing shows. Like, stop calling it a rehearsal. We're just doing the run now.
Yeah.
And then the shows were Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2 shows Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, for a month.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And the rehearsals, for me at least, I don't know how, I'd love to hear your experience, but the rehearsals were laborious for me. I remember having to do a lot of work as an improviser and I felt really discouraged as an improviser during that rehearsal process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everyone did. Mm-hmm. Liz and Belinda and I used to exchange texts during it that went something like this. I was awful today.
Yeah.
No, I was, like that. This is such a mountain to climb.
Yeah, it was. And Dave had such a specific vision. And I remember after rehearsal walking out one time and just being like, I need clarity on your notes because you're telling me I'm too big. And then when I try and go smaller, you tell me to make bigger offers. And then when I make bigger offers, you tell me I'm too big. And I feel like I'm threading such a needle. Mm-hmm. And he goes, yeah. He goes, yeah, I have a pretty specific vision for this show. And he sort of explained a little bit because his notes for me was, don't be so Baroque.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, don't be so Baroque. And then I need you to make a choice. Make a choice, Chaz. And I was like, okay, so every time I made a choice, I felt like I was too big. And I was like, I feel like I'm trying to match the energy. And he goes, yeah. He goes, he basically said he's giving everyone the same note, just in different words. Of more realism, but make choices. And I think he was getting frustrated with sort of the Seattle slow sort of discovery first improv. And I learned a lot in that show. And once we got into doing the shows, and I was understudy for that. So I wasn't at all the shows, but I went to most of the shows because I was so afraid of losing the edge that we had built on that.
Yeah.
So I went to so many of those shows just to feel like I was in it and still honed. So if someone did call out, I wasn't like, oh God, I have to get back into shape.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a really important one for me to really practice second circle and not go on with 5,000 ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was tempting.
It was tempting.
Yeah. Do you remember the note that he gave me when you got too Baroque? I will tell you. The note was, not that stupid.
Oh, no.
Because if you look at Austin, the mothers are crackers. They're insane. They're, oh my God.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'd just taken it a level or two too high.
Yeah. Well, it sounds
it was a great note.
It's a great note, and it feels
shoot.
harsh saying it, and I'm sure it's harsh taking it as well. But we were given either the two type of characters that you could play were frivolous or
that's right.
It was frivolous or something else. It wasn't serious, but it was along those lines.
Yeah.
It was basically people who bought into the world of we're wealthy and things kind of like material things don't really matter and we're just playing the game of the world, or people who played the game knowing that the world is broader than that.
Yeah.
But we always played the game of being wealthy and part of this sort of like upper class.
Yeah.
And threading that needle with those characters was very, very difficult. And I found myself just saying, like, I don't know if I can actually do a serious character. I don't think every time I try and do that, I get railed with notes. And so I played a lot of frivolous characters.
Yeah.
Because it was easier for me to be able to play in the genre and in the world and feel comfortable and confident in myself as an improviser.
Yeah, I think it's easier for the women because there was such a clear line between the silliness of some of the characters and the longing of some of the characters.
Yeah.
Because they really, really want to marry, and they really want to marry for love. Mm-hmm. Tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about that.
But that was a great show, and like I had a great time doing it, and I would love to do it again. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
But it was a task. It was grueling.
When I was I was invited to be a guest artist at the festival last year in Victoria. Mm-hmm. And late at night, he did mashups, rehearsal fun. Mashups.
Cute.
And one of them we did Austin Tarantino, and that was so fun.
I bet that was a riot.
It was. Oh. I had a gun I put right in my bodice. Yeah.
Nice.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do enough mashups. They're fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to do. That would be a fun. You should direct one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. As we're sort of coming to the end of our time, our final question is, if you could see Seattle, the improv in Seattle in the next 5-10 years change in some way, how would you want to see it change?
I would say exactly what you said, and I agreed with, which is somewhere in the middle, where it's entertaining, but also has some element of sincerity about it. I'd like to see more of those shows and less of the ones on the outskirts, meaning the I'll call it the third circle theater sports, which tends to get loud. No, don't judge it. It's just saying. Or the two so artsy that we're making the audience work too hard and they're not entertained. So I think we've done a lot of both of those extremes.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see more that's in the middle.
Yeah.
I used to think like Blood Squad was a kind of a good example for a while of being kind of in the middle, although it kind of landed. Because they broke the fourth wall so much, it kind of went more toward the slapsticky. But it was entertaining enough that, audiences kept coming back. Or the soap opera was just ridiculous, but we were all taking it seriously and playing the relationships or whatever. That was fun, and that's what I wish we'd do more of. That they're fun and entertaining, maybe genre, maybe not, but don't go so far out into the avant-garde that the audience is like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also don't go so far if it's not theater sports and it be slapsticky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun.
I think there's a place in the middle. I'm always looking for it anyway.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll just keep looking for it.
Well, I'll join you looking for that.
You will. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Cynthia.
Of
What a
course.
blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all of us. We're all good.
Yeah. And thanks for listening to another episode of Cascade Improv. If you have a theater, or if you're an improviser in from Portland up to Alaska, and if you would do, or surrounding areas, I don't want to just limit it to the very north end of Oregon, right?
As far east as Boise, Idaho.
That's right. Yeah. I'm looking at you, Eugene. So if you want to be on the podcast, feel free to shoot us an email at cascadeimprovpodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to bring Paul and I out to teach a workshop, I would love to teach. I've got plenty of workshops that I can teach. I teach workshops on, you could bring me out to teach a workshop on group mind, and you could bring Paul on out to teach how do you find offers within games. And so
Thanks for signing me up for that. Sure.
Yeah. I think that's going to be my new bit. Is I'm just going to, every time we're done.
Here's a thing you could teach, Paul. Okay.
I'm just going to start pimping you out, or
perfect.
Yeah, for new games or new workshops that you will teach.
I have a binder full of curricula. Great.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on out, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
I have to look back now. Ooh, yeah.
The Cascade Improv Podcast is produced by Paul Furio and Chaz Kaskis. Musical backing is provided by Anomi Bell, whose music can be found online at anomibell.bandcamp.com.